meant for my ears, but I heard it anyway. My son Tommy and his wife Lisa thought they'd hung up after our usual Sunday check-in. I was wiping down the counter, still smelling the faint lemon of Mom's old cleaner recipe, when their voices crackled through the line. "He's too old to be rattling around that big house alone," Lisa said, her voice sharp like a knife through butter. "It's worth at least $1 million in Austin's market. We could sell it, move him to assisted living, and finally get that lakefront place." Tommy's laugh, my own flesh and blood, cut deeper than her words. "Yeah, Dad's so stubborn, he'll fight it. But he's getting forgetful. We'll just say it's for his safety." My hand froze on the receiver, the same one I'd installed in '98 when we built this place. They weren't just talking about my house. They were talking about my life, my memories, my everything, like I was already gone. I didn't say a word. I hung up quietly, my chest tight, like someone had parked a truck on it. The kitchen clock ticked, steady as ever, the one Ellen picked out at that flea market in Round Rock. I looked at her photo on the fridge, her smile frozen from that summer we took Tommy camping. She'd been gone 5 years, cancer stealing her breath, but I still felt her here. In every corner of this house we built with our own hands. Tommy and Lisa wanted to sell it all, shove me in some sterile room with fluorescent lights and nurses who'd call me sweetie. I wasn't confused, I wasn't helpless, and I sure as hell wasn't done. The next morning, I drove my old Ford to the office of Clara Monroe, a real estate lawyer Ellen and I met when we updated our will. The Austin sun beat down, glinting off the glass towers downtown, but I barely noticed. My mind was on Tommy's laugh, Lisa's cold calculations. Clara's office was no nonsense, just like her. Wood paneling, a desk cluttered with legal pads, and a photo of her and her husband fishing on Lake Travis. "Mr. Dawson," she said, pouring me coffee. "What's this about?" I told her everything. The overheard call, their plan to sell my house, their assumption I'd just roll over. Her pen scratched notes, her face unreadable, but her eyes narrowing when I mentioned the $1 million estimate. "Legally, they've got no ground to stand on," Clara said, leaning back. "The house is yours, free and clear since Ellen passed. They can't touch it without your say-so." I nodded, relief mixing with something hotter, sharper. "What if I sell it myself?" I asked. Clara raised an eyebrow. "You could have it on the market tomorrow. Austin's hot. Cash buyers are snapping up properties like yours in days. But why sell? This isn't just about money, is it?" I thought of Tommy's laugh again, the way it echoed like a betrayal. "It's about showing them I'm not some old fool they can push around." We spent an hour hashing out details, market value, cash offers, legal paperwork. Clara said she could have it ready in 24 hours if I was serious. I paid her $250 consultation fee in cash, feeling lighter than I had in months. Driving home, my phone buzzed. Tommy's name lit up the screen. I let it ring, picturing him in his fancy office, probably wondering why his old man wasn't picking up. Let him sweat. Let him and Lisa make their plans, thinking they had me figured out. They were about to get a wake-up call. Back home, I walked through the house, seeing it the way they did. 3,200 square feet, hardwood floors I laid myself, a backyard where Tommy learned to throw a football, the living room where Ellen taught him to read, the kitchen where we'd eaten pancakes every Sunday. I built this place for $180,000 in '98, every nail driven with love, every wall painted with Ellen's laughter in the background. We'd taken a second mortgage, worked overtime, skipped vacations to make it ours. I pulled out the deed from the safe in my office, James and Ellen Dawson, 1998. My name alone now, but it was mine to do with as I pleased. I called Clara that afternoon. "List it," I said. "Find a cash buyer fast." She didn't ask if I was sure, just said she'd get it done. By Wednesday, we had 3 offers, all above asking. I picked the highest, $1.1 million, a developer looking to flip it into condos. The deal closed in 5 days, faster than I'd ever seen. I wired the money to a new account Clara set up, one Tommy and Lisa didn't know about. I packed my clothes, Ellen's photos, and the clock she loved. The rest? Let the new owners deal with it. Friday morning, Tommy and Lisa pulled into the driveway back from some conference in Dallas. I watched from across the street parked in my truck. Their faces twisted when the key didn't work. Tommy banged on the door, Lisa shouting into her phone. Then they saw the note I'd taped to the mailbox. House sold. Moved on. Good luck. Lisa's scream was sharp enough to cut glass. Tommy kicked the mailbox, cursing loud enough for the neighbors to peek out. I didn't stick around to watch the rest. My phone buzzed. Tommy, probably ready to play the loving son again. I let it go to voicemail. I drove to a small cabin I'd rented in Wimberley, 30 miles outside Austin. It wasn't much, 800 square feet, a porch overlooking the Blanco River. But it was mine, paid in cash from the sale. I set Ellen's photo on the mantel, her smile catching the evening light. The clock ticked steadily, grounding me. I wasn't running. I was starting over, on my terms. Tommy called again that night, leaving a voicemail dripping with fake concern. Dad, what's going on? Why's the house sold? Where are you? I didn't answer. Lisa called next, her voice tight with anger. This is crazy, Dad. You can't just do this. Oh, but I could, and I did. Clara called a week later. They're asking around, trying to find you. Want me to handle it? I told her to send them a letter. Legal, cold, final. The house was gone, the money was mine, and I wasn't their burden anymore. I pictured Tommy's face when he read it. Lisa's plans for their lakefront dream crumbling. They'd thought I was too old, too soft, too trusting. They'd forgotten the man who built that house from nothing, who worked double shifts to pay for Tommy's college, who co-signed his first car loan when no bank would touch him. I sat on the porch that night, a beer in hand, the river whispering below. Ellen's voice echoed in my head. Don't let them take you for granted, James. I hadn't. For the first time in years, I felt free. Tommy and Lisa could scramble, could rage, could try to track me down. But this old man wasn't their pawn. I'd built a life once. I'd build another. And this time, it was just for me.